This is definitely the strongest male protagonist. He used to be just an ordinary high school student. When the game just came out, he was taken away by the training maniac. He had to run 18,000 miles every day. His legs were so tired that he had to run. He had to carry 13,500 pounds of rocks. He had to practice as hard as he could, and the two classmates with him were so relaxed that they could watch the show every day. What the hell's going on? The male protagonist's name is Rabbit. He is just an ordinary high school student. It just so happened that it was raining, and he didn't bring an umbrella. He ran into Xiao Hua and Xiao Cao from the student union. They look cold, but they get along very well. Fortunately, he lent the umbrella to Rabbit and went home with her. Unexpectedly, halfway through the show, the sky was full of light. The magical array appeared. In the next second, the three of them were sent to another world. Xiao Hua was so excited that she couldn't hide her terminal illness. Xiao Cao was so surprised. He had a family in the original world. He had to send them back immediately. The king told them that there was only one purpose for summoning them. That is to fight the devil forever. As long as you can defeat the devil, you will do everything you can to send them back. Then there was iGirl. She took them to test the magic property. Xiao Hua was so excited. As a result, the property she tested was the strongest thunder. It made her so excited. Rabbit's image of her cold goddess was completely extinguished. Xiao Cao was a light property. It has a natural control effect on the demon clan. But when it was Rabbit's turn to test, the machine emitted a green light. iGirl was shocked. She pulled Rabbit all the way to the palace. Unexpectedly, a green-haired man broke into the palace. Everyone was scared to death when they saw him. E.T. stared at Rabbit. Then he notified the king that he would train Rabbit to be a healer. Then he punched Rabbit. He was kidnapped on the spot. It turned out that he was the leader of the Kingdom Rescue Team, Luosi. Everyone here was in charge of healing the whole county. Everyone was a tough guy. Now Rabbit's legs were almost broken. Although the leader is a healing mage, the training method is a devil-level physical training. He had to run 18,000 miles. Rabbit's legs were almost broken. Luosi fell into a healing magic. If he didn't keep running, he would die. Zhao Kei and Rabbit couldn't figure it out. He was awake because of his healing ability. Why did he have to keep doing this kind of physical training? Although he complained, Rabbit could only hold a grudge in his heart. In the next training, Rabbit was injured again. But this time, his hand automatically emitted the light of healing. Luosi was very satisfied after seeing it, so he strengthened the training content afterwards. He punched Rabbit first, then let him keep running. The running training just ended. Luosi arranged for Rabbit to do push-ups, and at least 1,000 push-ups a day. Rabbit insisted on doing 800 push-ups. He was about to fall to the ground. However, at this time, his body suddenly emitted a light of healing. Luosi finally understood the reason for such training patiently. Physical training is to make him able to quickly escape the enemy on the battlefield and quickly get to the teammates to perform treatment. The faster he runs, the more efficient he is. Rabbit felt that the previous training was not so painful after hearing it. Thinking of his two companions, he became more determined to achieve his goal. Only when he becomes stronger can he really help them. 3 weeks later, Xiao Hua and Xiao Cao Kamedo see him. They saw that Rabbit had become a muscle man. They were so shocked. Rabbit didn't pay attention to them at all. He was still arguing with Luosi. In fact, as soon as Uncle came to visit Rabbit, he was dissatisfied with the way he trained the team leader. What if he killed him? But the team leader didn't care. He said that as long as he couldn't kill him, he would train him to death. Seeing that Rabbit worked so hard, they couldn't stay any longer. They immediately decided to return to the castle to strengthen their training. Then Rabbit received his first outing mission. He was taken to the dark forest. The mission was to kill a big blue-gray bear. Rabbit doubted his life. "I'm not Russian. How could I kill a bear?" But when he remembered that he had done the devil training before, he still wanted to do it. It's a pity that he wanted to do it alone. But the blue-gray bear was going to be a group of wolves. So Rabbit jumped into the water. That's how he saved his life. After a while, Rabbit finally went ashore and checked the supplies. There was only a little supply and a small knife. Luo really didn't want to do it. Rabbit had to force himself to calm down. He spent the first night on the tree. The next day, Rabbit started to move again. He used a small knife to mark the tree all the way. He finally found the scar left by the blue-gray bear. He thought his opponent was nearby. Suddenly, there was a sound behind him. It turned out Toby, a wounded little black rabbit. Seeing that the little black rabbit was badly injured, Rabbit used healing magic on him. I didn't expect that after the black rabbit was cured, he was stuck to Rabbit. Rabbit wanted to drive him away. After all, he wanted to fight with the bear. Unexpectedly, the black rabbit suddenly began to lead the way for him. Finally, he came to the blue-gray bear's habitat. Rabbit saw that there was a little bear. The miracle was not too late. He planned to wait for the right time to act. The little black rabbit found the source of the water with the rabbit. But the black rabbit suddenly climbed up the tree. He was shaking all over. Rabbit was not careful. He immediately climbed up the tree. Suddenly, a huge demon snake passed from below. Rabbit was almost scared to death. After that, when Rabbit arrived at the blue-gray bear's habitat, he found that the blue-gray bear's family was almost wiped out. Obviously, he was killed by the demon snake. Rabbit was furious. He immediately asked the little black rabbit to take him to the den of the demon snake. However, when they arrived, they saw that the young little gray bear had already taken the first step. He tried to fight the demon snake. Rabbit rushed up with fear. In the end, he was knocked down by the snake tail. He forced the demon snake to heal magic in the air. After landing, he quickly counterattacked. However, the poison began to spread. Rabbit was in a cold sweat, but he still used healing magic to suppress the poison. At a critical moment, the little gray bear rushed out. He blocked the fatal blow for Rabbit. Rabbit took the opportunity to jump on the head of the demon snake. A punch ended his life. But when he thought it was all over, the demon snake climbed up again. However, Rabbit could no longer move. The desperate big mother snail was a trap for the mother star. However, the next second, the snail kicked the demon snake. It turned out that this black rabbit was the demon he sent. The whole city was watching Rabbit. This demon snake is also a demon dance after the demon king's transformation. Its strength is much stronger than that of a wild bear. Rabbit made a contribution, so the reward can be a little bear. But, speaking of which, you said something just now. I don't think I can sleep tonight, but the snail was also very satisfied with Rabbit's performance. He admires Rabbit very much. He has the willpower and tenacity to compare with other healers. This is what he wants to cultivate. The frontline healer of the rescue team. The threat of the Demon King's army is already at its peak, so the snail is even more intensive in training. Rabbit. In order to make Rabbit practice carrying wounded people, he ordered Rabbit to carry more than 200 pounds of bear to run a marathon. He also asked the other rabbits to ambush and attack Rabbit nearby. Rabbit split up on the spot. He could only speed up his escape, but this time he didn't run for long. He was exhausted. At this time, the snail told him that people will be affected by negative emotions, which will accelerate fatigue. So you have to overcome negative emotions. Then the snail treated Rabbit, let him run into the city. As a result, this scene became the focus of the whole city. At this time, a golden-haired man suddenly noticed that he was Rabbit's senior. He is also a healer of the rescue team. Since the junior brother can keep up with the snail's training, he can't help but call him Big Brother. Because the front line is the most dangerous, many warriors die because they can't be treated. Zifan was so shy. The next morning, they followed Zongji to find the Demon King. At this time, the demons were hunting for something. It turned out that they were preparing to resurrect the Demon King. After seeing Rose, the leader of the golden-haired Demon King wanted to kill them all. Rose was too lazy to talk nonsense. He directly asked Zifan to command the battle and go up to deal with the leader of the golden-haired Demon King. The two sides immediately started a fierce battle. The wind shield of the leader of the golden-haired Demon King could attack and retreat as much as possible. But it didn't work in front of Rose, because it can not only heal, but also have superpower. It can even pick up the tree-fogged peony weapon. A wooden shield suppressed the leader of the golden-haired Demon King with no power to fight back. Unexpectedly, the opponent jumped over the wall. He sent out a demon sword with a curse on the spot. It suppressed the healing magic temporarily. At the same time, the demon soldiers started a suicide attack. They killed Rose's subordinates one by one. Seeing that the members fell one by one, Rose wanted to save them, but was bitten by the leader of the golden-haired Demon King. In the end, his right eye was stabbed by the demon sword and his tendon was broken. When Rose was in despair, Zifan rushed forward and blocked the fatal blow for him. Looking at the bodies of his companions, Rose, who was very sad, exploded completely. The leader of the golden-haired Demon King who hit him with one punch doubted his life. Then a set of battles followed. He used the demon sword to nail the opponent to the tree. When he was about to kill the demon, the disciple of the leader of the golden-haired Demon King appeared out of nowhere and saved him. Faced with the same situation, Rose lost the power of revenge for a while. After returning to the kingdom, Rose reported to the king about the situation of the mission. At the same time, the leader of the golden-haired Demon King resigned. He said that he was an incompetent waste, which led to the disbandment of the group. Then he locked himself in a small wooden house and deliberately did not cure the blinded right eye as a punishment for himself. But when he fell asleep in despair, his companions who had died in battle came out of nowhere and laughed at him. They didn't blame him at all. Even if the whole group was wiped out, Rose was always their proud leader. So he said that he must look forward and continue to move forward. These words moved Rose all the time. He must live on with the life of his companions. So he decided to form a life-saving group and use his power to protect more people instead of killing more enemies. So even if the king gave the order, he would no longer lead the troops to kill the enemy. At the same time, the demon group was also preparing to attack. They have begun to build a bridge and are ready to fight. This scene was clearly seen by Rose. It seems that the war is coming to an end. On the other hand, Rabbit just bought something to go home. As a result, a Sherlock was stopped in the middle of the road. You were the only one I saw. Sothis is the future you can choose. The next second, she launched a copper tree to let Rabbit see the result of the war. The demon Black Knight led the way and annihilated the human race. Little Flower and Little Grass also died in the battlefield. After telling her, Little Raleigh ran away. Rabbit searched the whole town and couldn't find her again. She had to go to the guard. Unexpectedly, Rose, who had just returned from the battlefield, learned that Rabbit was looking for Sherlock. She said that the other party may be the Asian who fled because of the war, and a few people have special abilities, but it's not clear whether what Rabbit saw was an illusion or a prediction of the future. After returning to the palace, Rose told the king about the news of the Demon King. The king immediately asked his men to prepare to convey the battle order and informed the two warriors to prepare for the battle. Rabbit couldn't sleep at night. At this time, he saw that Little Grass didn't sleep either. It turned out that Little Grass, who was born to be a swordsman, was also afraid of going to the battlefield. He didn't want to die and didn't want to let down his good knighthood, so he felt very conflicted. Rabbit comforted him that he didn't have to respond to others and do what he wanted to do. Even if Little Grass didn't go to the battlefield, he was still his friend. Little Grass was touched by Rabbit's words and decided not to run away and to protect everyone until the last moment. The next day, the king mobilized the soldiers before the battle. The morale rose rapidly, and Rose talked to Rabbit alone. She repeatedly told the servant how to save him on the battlefield. Then she gave the life-saving team's formal clothes to Rabbit and told him that, as a healing wizard, the most important thing is to save yourself. You can save people, but don't sacrifice yourself to save others. If you try to make a fool of yourself, I'll kill you before the enemy kills you. In order not to let down this trust, Rabbit made up his mind that even if he had to risk his life, he would change the future. The next day, he set off with the life-saving team and came to the back of the battlefield. Then, the human and the demon officially started the battle. The magicians immediately launched a magic bomb on the human and the demon. However, they all missed. It turned out that the other party used illusion magic. In the next second, the real demon army came from both sides. Rabbit saw that more and more wounded people were sent back. He began to panic. A wounded man said that there was a demon snake on the battlefield. They couldn't fight at all. Rabbit was very worried, but he could only bite his teeth to continue the treatment. On the other hand, the demon Black Knight stood on the battlefield and laughed at him. Humans are like garbage. They don't deserve to fight seriously. As a result, a soldier was stabbed with justice. He thought he had won the enemy's main general. As a result, in the next second, he was easily killed by the Black Knight. Just when he was about to die, several poisonous eggs suddenly flew in and attracted the attention of the Black Knight. In the next second, he was saved. After a period of treatment, Rabbit and Snail finally decided to rush to the front line. Before leaving, Snail specifically told Rabbit that the magic of the Black Knight was very special. Be careful. Then Rabbit turned to the battlefield to save people and treat them. Although it was dangerous, he soon got used to this rhythm. On the other hand, the soldiers rushed up to attack the Black Knight. Unexpectedly, the enemy wore armor and attacked the Black Knight. The soldiers all fell down. Sister Xiaohua quickly stopped Brother Xiaocao, who wanted to go to the front line, and said that the enemy's magic was rebound damage. Heart attack is a gift, so he immediately thought of a strategy. At this time, Rabbit suddenly had a severe headache. He saw the death notice of Sister Xiaohua and Brother Xiaocao again. Even if he used healing magic to relieve the pain, he was almost attacked by a demon soldier. Fortunately, the soldiers who saved him rushed to help. This is a good chance. After knowing the location of Sister Xiaohua and Brother Xiaocao, Rabbit immediately rushed to support. Facing the Black Knight, Sister Xiaohua proposed a strategy. She asked Brother Xiaocao to use light magic in front of her and blinded the Black Knight's vision. She took the opportunity to fly behind him and killed him with a backstab the Black Knight couldn't rebound. Brother Xiaocao was about to make up for it. Unexpectedly, the enemy counterattacked and killed Brother Xiaocao, then released the anti-armor magic and hit Sister Xiaohua. When the Black Knight was about to get rid of the two warriors, Rabbit arrived in time. A green fist made him into a skull. Then immediately treated the two people. The Black Knight was almost crying. Rabbit didn't want to fight. He hurriedly hugged the two people and ran away. While treating, he asked Sister Xiaohua how she was doing. Unexpectedly, the sound of flowers just fell. A sword flew over. Rabbit flashed flexibly, but the Black Knight was chasing after him. Sister Xiaohua took the opportunity to tell Rabbit about the anti-armor ability of the Black Knight. She said that Rabbit's physical attack didn't seem to rebound. Rabbit looked at the Black Knight and didn't want to fight, but now he had to face the Rabbit. The Black Knight rushed over. Rabbit stepped out of the corner and kicked the Black Knight a few meters away. This kick didn't rebound. When the Black Knight was confused, Rabbit took the opportunity to hit the Black Knight again. At this time, Xiao Tao also woke up. He found that his wounds were all healed. Sister Xiaohua told him that Rabbit had come. Next, he just had to show the operation. Rabbit's healing magic is really strong. The damage caused by the Black Knight can be healed quickly. On the contrary, Rabbit's physical attack on the Black Knight made him so painful that it couldn't stand it. It completely suppressed the anti-armor of the Black Knight. The Black Knight was so angry that it rushed over. Rabbit cleverly resolved his attack. Finally, he took a green light. The sky and the earth passed through the waves and completely defeated the enemy's main general. Then Rabbit quickly treated the injured around him. Sister Xiaohua loved him so much that she asked him what operation he was using. Rabbit then told him how to deal with him. That is to attack the enemy with healing magic. In this way, it can avoid actual damage and make the enemy lose their fighting power. Now, wonder the anti-armor didn't work at all. Finally, Xiao Tao asked Sister Xiaohua to help. The battle after that had to be fought. The demon clan saw that the leader had been captured. This battle could not be fought at all. In the end, he could only announce his retreat. Rabbit also returned to the back with his apprentice. Rabbit went back and continued to treat the injured, and Sister Xiaohua and Brother Xiao Cao also successfully defeated the demon clan. Humans won the first battle. Rose told Rabbit this good news and praised him. "You did a great job this time. Not only did you save a lot of people, but you also successfully protected the other two warriors. You are a hero." Hearing Rose's praise, Rabbit spent so much time and hard emotions. Tears can't stop flowing. Then he tried his best and fainted in his master's arms. In this chapter, Rabbit became a national hero directly. There were fans cheering for him on both sides. Even the king wanted to meet him in person. The king told Rabbit that he had to interrogate the Black Knights in person, and this was also a request from the Black Knights. As a result, Rabbit went over and saw that the Black Knights were very stubborn. They wouldn't let him touch him, even if he was injured. In the beginning, when Rabbit gave him treatment, the Black Knights were still struggling. As a result, after a short while, Xiao Shou grabbed Rabbit and didn't let him go. This is the first time. Just a little longer. Just like this. Rabbit didn't know until then. The Black Knights are the proud sisters of the Black Leather. Through these days of getting along with each other, the Black Leather girl gradually explained all the important information. This made Rabbit worry about her. In the end, she didn't know how she would be dealt with by the kingdom. I didn't expect that Rose had already arranged it. She found the Black Leather girl directly and gave her two choices. One is to spend the rest of her life in the cage. The second is to train her to be one of us. The Black Leather girl didn't agree. As a result, the next second, she was knocked out by Rose with a knife. Finally, she put on a magic repellent on her. At this moment, she was like a tiger with its teeth pulled out. There was no threat at all. Then she was carried out by Rose. She became Rabbit's little sister. After arranging the life of the Black Leather girl, Rabbit commanded Rose to report her work. Rose nodded. Then she gave Rabbit a new task. It turned out that the king of the kingdom assigned the three of them as envoys. They were going to other countries to deliver confidential letters. Just before departure, Rabbit met the golden-haired little tiger girl again on the way. She hugged him with all her might. She wanted to thank him for his great kindness. Unexpectedly, the little girl came up and said that she didn't help for nothing before. Rabbit had to help her save her mother. In order to repay this favor, Rabbit had to ask Rose. In the next action, she was allowed to save a person on the way. The black leather girl on the other side was miserable. She was forced to train every day by Rose. She was often slapped. She was beaten and suspected of being a demon. When she learned that Rabbit could travel, she quit. She packed her luggage early, in the morning, and was ready to sneak away. But she was almost beaten to death by Rose. But Rose also saw the thoughts of the black leather girl. She just wanted to go out with Rabbit. So she took her back and continued to train. Until the day when Rabbit set off, Rose set off with the black leather girl. But they had to run there. It seems that this journey is destined to be difficult. The first season of The Wings of Magic has come to an end. I have to say that the setting of combining the wings of magic with combat is very fresh. The protagonist pulls the enemy into his profession and then beats him with his fist until he wins with the power of healing. Although he can't kill people, this move is really the strongest plan, and this turn is extremely rare. There is no downplay. Everyone's thinking is normal. It's easy to understand, so the feeling is very comfortable. The only drawback is that the pace is too slow. Rabbit trained for a whole season and only defeated one boss of the Black Knights. The following episodes are relatively water. It may affect the sense of light. In short, if you like Wang Dao's adventure in the world, it's still worth watching this video. Finally, don't forget to subscribe and like. See you in the second season.